Alrighty, we are live. This is an impromptu Girls Guide to Greatness podcast stream because it's been so difficult to try to get with Eugene these past couple of weeks. He's been crazy busy. I've been crazy busy, but I was like, dude, we got to do it. Let's just jump in. Let's just have fun. So we're not going to go into my normal format today. We're just going to have some fun playing back and forth with each other because Eugene actually is one of my oldest friends from way back when in San Antonio, Texas, and he's everything. He's a real estate agent. He was into health and fitness with Beachbody. Now he's transitioning into becoming a coach and business coach and life coach. He's rocking and rolling with just about everything. So I just want to say thank you so much, Eugene, for coming on the show today.
Oh yeah, thanks Rebecca. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
super pumped. We're gonna have a lot of fun. This is a little bit different today. We're just gonna kind of play off and see what happens. And but we did decide on a subject, which I'm really excited about. So we're going to talk about how to stay focused and motivated during challenging times because obviously this is a challenging year. And it's kind of funny because I know at the beginning of 2020, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's 2020. It's going to be an amazing year. I've got all these goals and these dreams I'm going to accomplish." And then wham, then this virus hits and then it just totally changes everything. And so, Eugene, I would love for you to share some of the things you've learned this year on how you are able to stay focused and motivated through this challenging time we're in.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks for that. Yeah, just when we were talking earlier, coming up with the topics here and stuff like that, and something that's been on my mind lately. Um, just with all the stuff that we've been in the world and society we've been going through. Breaking it down to the individual level. Um, how we all have to, we know what happened, but and prior to everything going down, you know um, I can imagine many of us had goals, particularly me. I guess I can talk about me. It was very very simple, very basic. I had gone through a couple of seminars, gone to a couple of seminars earlier in the year. Got super pumped, super motivated from the message there, and you know, had set a goal to transition because I've been in real estate now for about 12 years, and as much as I love real estate, it's a great vehicle to build wealth. After doing it for 12 years or so, helping people buy and sell their homes, buy their American dream, and sometimes sell their American dream to get a bigger American dream or a downsize. Um,
Yeah.
as rewarding as that career is, I started feeling empty inside because it's like once I start, you get into a transaction with a buyer or seller, and then they have one goal, and that's to either buy a house or sell a house. And I formed a an attitude of well, what is it, what do you want? I'll help you deliver it. But I would help my clients reach their goals. And at the closing table, after everything is signed, I noticed with all of my clients, it's like, after going through the process, it's like now it's done. It's like, their journey is just getting started with the house or whatnot. But
Yeah.
for me, as exciting it was for the homeowner, the new homeowner, or the person looking to sell their home, get out of the situation, something inside of me just wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like I didn't feel like I was bringing enough value to the marketplace. And when you think about other motivational speakers, one of the first people I listened to back in the day was Jim Rohn, and he always talks about bringing value to the marketplace.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love Jim.
yeah, yeah. Jim Rohn is awesome, but it was just that feeling of uh, uh, feeling unfulfilled. Like
Yeah.
I know when I was doing health and fitness, helping people go from a certain weight to where they were unhappy, maybe sick, uh, you know, didn't have the best uh, habits and stuff like that, and that help them transform and help them reach their goals that were physical, that were inside of them, that helped them feel better. you know, to me, that was more fulfilling to me than any client that I've helped purchase a home or help them sell their home. So, anyways, long story short, starting the end of this year, I started going through some coaching training. I decided I wanted to become a motivational coach, um, or consultant. Not really a speaker. Being on stage and whatnot. I
Hmm.
work better with people one on one or in small groups. Um, but um, but while when I went to the seminar, and it's through Bob Proctor, anytime, and I don't know how it is for other people, but for me, anytime I go to a seminar, I get super motivated, super pumped, and you just come out of there, you're ready to light up the world with the information that was from there. So that was the case with Bob Proctor, but this time it was different, than any other seminar that I'd been through, because of the tips and the strategies that he showed us, um, that can really help people uh, cope with challenges in their lives, and not just cope with challenges, but actually create uh, create things for themselves. Basically helping realize that we create our situations, good or bad, and
Right.
all that creation starts in the mind. So so again, I went to the seminar, and I came out of it, paid for the coaching program, decided to become a coach, and I had all these ideals of people I was going to touch. I was doing meetings, just to draw people in and get them, get them in my coaching program. And I had this big old plan, and then September was going to be the time I was going to go back to be a certified consultant and go in there, with 100 clients by then.
Right.
but but
Big goal,
what
big
I quickly
dreams.
realized, yeah. So for me, what I quickly realized is, as simple as the information that Bob was teaching, and the way that he was teaching it, one thing I had to remember was, or remind myself, is that he's been doing this for 60 years, and I just came out of the seminar for 3 days, and I'm ready to be Bob Proctor, right?
Right.
So even though I hit the ground running, I had a plan together, and I took action, because I mean, those, you set a goal,
Hmm.
um, you commit to it, and then you take action. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows that that's the best way to reach your goals.
Right.
But what happens, what happens to a lot of people is they hit roadblocks, or things don't go as planned. I remember I was doing meetings, and the only people that are showing up was my mom and my family, and then I might have like one guest, and then it's one guest, awkward, and then
I've
all my family in
experienced that.
there, and then of course mom is there, like, and mom is in there like, oh honey, oh you're so cute, and that,
That is
that's
amazing.
so, yeah. So I mean, I love her to death. She's my cheerleader, um, and for but in my mind, even though that's what I was seeing, uh, uh, at that present in my mind, I saw a room filled with people, and I constantly kept reminding myself, well, this is just the beginning. There's, um, I'm gonna face challenges, and for each time that I'm doing this, what can I do to improve and get better for next time? So, have I not put out enough marketing? Did I not call enough people? Did I not text enough people? Did I not call the right
Mhm.
people? Whatever it is, we're able to uh, um, use information, whether we perceive it as good or bad, and use that to observe and make adjustments. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so I was getting momentum in that, and I started feeling really good. People actually started coming to my classes, and then, um,
Mhm.
but then, I was still fumbling through my speeches, and at the same time, I have to read the material and learn everything. Uh, but that was my single focus, is
Yeah.
going through this coaching program. But anyways, so so this new venture of mine was actually my plan was it was good. I was gonna turn my real estate company over to some partners of mine,
Hmm.
and I was gonna go full time into coaching.
Okay.
So coaching and consulting. However, once the COVID stuff hit, um, and people weren't, and everything got locked down. Now people aren't going out, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, and you know, it's like, at times of these, immediately the thing that comes to mind is like, well, who's going to spend money on a coach and consulting it at a time like this?
Mm.
That's the negative. That's the critic
Oh,
inside of us, right?
yeah, I was about to say,
So
Eugene, because people will pay to this is what I learned is that people will pay to get out of pain and they will pay to get into pleasure. So as long as you're doing one of those things, people will pay for it. So it doesn't matter if it's coaching or if it's real estate or whatever it is. If you're actually solving that issue for those people, they will pay money for it. Believe me, I'm in coaching and I get paid really good money for what I do. So it can be done.
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I was just pointing out the things that come to mind when
Right.
situations like when challenges arise,
Oh yeah, those negative
and
thoughts will
it's
start coming
yeah.
in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
those negative feelings, and then when the challenges are unknown. Lucky for me, this isn't, I was in the army, so this isn't the first time I've been in a situation to where things are just
Right.
unknown for a long period of time. You just kind of have to observe uh, observe what's around you, and
Like
gather
adapt to the
information.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah, take some time, be still, assess the situation, figure out how to navigate it, and then adapt to it, and keep on moving. Um, and so far, for the most part, from what I've observed for the majority of people, is people have done just that. Just like, when I was deployed and stuff like that. We get
Mhm.
sent, deployed to these areas, and when you're coming, when you're used to a certain lifestyle, and then you go into a situation like that, the first couple of weeks is just getting used to your new environment. So, so, uh, you know, um, uh, so, once you adapt to it and get used to it, stuff like that, then
Yeah.
you know but the thing is, it's like, okay, even though it's new, you're adapting, you don't want to take too long to adapt to things, because then you still have to keep your mind on the goal, right?
Got to
So
be kind of quick in your
I
decision making, right?
right, and I know, like, with COVID, when all this stuff kicked off, and the first week was kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And like with everything, with real estate, how's this going to affect real estate? Because that's my bread and butter.
Hmm.
How is this going to affect my goals now for going into coaching? Because that's something that I really want to do and transition into. And then how is it going to affect all my other goals and stuff like that? So,
Right.
um, but instead of thinking about all the negative stuff, is then you think, what I did to kind of turn things around was like, okay, well, one thing that happened to me on the real estate part is real estate actually kicked up. So, so for anybody out there that has questions about the real estate market, at least for the regular home sellers and buyers, it's still a good market to buy and sell homes in, believe it or not. Um, uh, it did put a damper on some things in the investor world. Just kind of slowed things down there, just
Hmm.
because most investors, there's two sides. There's people trying to buy investments, and then people that lend money on them. So a lot of the money froze up. So for investors, it kind of slowed down a little bit. But um, so because real estate didn't slow down and it actually kicked up, like, that was a trigger in my mind. Like, okay, well, yeah, now we're in this pandemic situation. And I remember the first week I was like, all in the news and all on Facebook and reading news sources and stuff like that. And then I had to turn all that stuff off. So I turned my notices off for news and TVs and stuff like that.
Smart
Um,
decision.
and yeah, yeah, and then I got I got back into my coaching training, because the things that I was learning from coaching and consulting, it's not just
Mhm.
something that I want to teach. These are things that I'm applying in my own life. So
Right.
um, and a lot of it, and the way Bob Proctor teaches it is it's all geared towards setting goals, and not just setting any regular goals. Like we can set a goal like I want to buy a car, or I want to lose 15 pounds or whatever. Those are
Mhm.
all small goals. And so,
Right.
coming out of that training, what I learned is like, you know, part of the reason why I was feeling unfulfilled in my real estate career, as I mentioned, and then, because not only was I feeling unfulfilled, and then I got into coaching consulting, but before that, I was like looking for multiple other businesses to, just to kind of get a feeling of, where I might get that fulfillment. But what I learned is it wasn't what I was doing that was unfulfilling to me. It was the goals that I had set that were unfulfilled,
Ah,
because I had
okay.
small goals. Yeah. So,
Gotta think bigger, gotta dream
you know,
bigger.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So what I learned, uh, so what I actually started doing, and especially during COVID, because in my mind, once everything hit the way it did, the past went out the window. Uh,
Yeah.
nothing in the past matters anymore. All that matters is the present, and the future we can't predict it, right? And right now, the way things are going, we still don't have. There's no definite timeline for when any of this stuff is gonna die down, slow down, uh, or whatever. So we have to, not only do we have to live in this environment, we also have to continue, surviving, and not just surviving. It's, where most people are in that survival mode, very few people are in thriving mode. And so,
Mm.
what I decided to do was take a thriving mindset to this, and just set really big goals. So,
I love that.
so basically now, yeah.
So I was going to say, Eugene, just to recap what you had said about how to stay motivated and focused. Some of the things you did were just to take time to be still, to really adapt to the situation, turn off the distractions, and focus. You also said you had to learn how to make, these quick decision making, decisions. You had to learn how to be quick on your feet, basically. And then as you started like setting these bigger goals, then you started getting more excited, and then you were starting to feel more fulfilled about towards like doing the things that you were working towards those goals. So I was going to talk to you about that too, because I completely understand about being not fulfilled, because I also left a job recently where it was a 22-year career, and in corporate, making really good money, and I said goodbye. And it's like not many people can do that, right? They can't just say, oh wow, I'm making tons of money, I'm going to just say goodbye to that just to chase a dream. It does take courage. And so what you're doing is also definitely taking courage. You have to say, okay, I believe in myself enough to be able to chase these big goals and dreams. I believe in myself enough that I know that that not only can I reach them, but I deserve them. So you're training your mind and your environment on every level, which is amazing. I wanted to share with the audience a few of my own tips as well, because I loved what you said. And I want to kind of piggyback on that. But for me, okay, so you said you were in the Army, Eugene, and you had to learn how to be quick, right on your feet, had to learn how to adapt to a certain situation. Okay, I wasn't in the Army, but I was a single mother, and so that's just as good. I was like, I had to learn how to be resourceful. I had to learn quickly. I had to grow up fast. I had to like think on my feet really quickly and make things happen, despite the situation I was in. And so I learned how to be flexible. I learned how to adapt quickly. And not only did it help in my personal life, but it helped immensely in my career. I actually, my confidence began to grow. Whatever interview I was in, I aced it. And I was like rising up the ranks very quickly in my career. So that kind of mindset and that attitude actually works for you on multiple levels. Another tip that I want to give the audience is not just to be flexible and adaptable, but also another way to keep motivated when you don't even feel like showing up is to remind yourself of your vision. I always say on my podcast, keep your vision in front of you. And whether it be in a notebook, which I always have my notebook in front of me, or something on the wall where you have some sort of goal that you have, your dream board, whatever it is, but make sure you keep it in front of you because guys, I'm not always this high energy. Sometimes I have those days where I don't want to show up and it's like, okay, so what are my goals here? What am I trying to do in life? How important is it for me to show up? And so I have to remind myself to keep going, to keep striving, to keep reaching because it's worth it. It is definitely worth it. So keep your vision in front of you and to reach out to friends. And is another tip. If you're feeling low, I already know when I feel low, I have my go-to person that I call. And you guys are going to freak out when I tell you. It's my daughter. My daughter's my go-to person. We are super close. She's so sweet and she's so thoughtful and she prays for me and I pray for her. We're like best friends ever, like BFFs. So always have your friend. And I know I've talked to Eugene. I've had my mastermind group with Angel and a few other people. And so I already know who I can reach out to. I've got my girlfriend Lee in San Antonio. She always prays for me. So have someone in your corner that's going to support you and help you reach your goals and help you stay motivated, even when you don't feel like it. And then one of my last ones is just to be nice to yourself because I've had to learn, especially during 2020. I'm just like you, Eugene, where I had these big goals and big dreams. Oh, I'm making $1 million this year. And so I was like, okay, well, that's not happening. That's going to be kind of a challenge to get to. So it's okay to be nice to yourself and to forgive yourself. So if you do make these big goals and dreams and you don't reach them, it's not because you failed. It's because you're just learning and it's just all about timing and you have to keep going and sometimes adjust to and scale to those big goals and big dreams. And I've had to be nice to myself because we all have a tendency to beat ourselves up if we don't get where we want and as quickly as we want. Because I'm one of those people that I like to hit the road running. And if I don't reach my goal, I'm like, oh, what the hell, because I set the bar pretty high for myself. I always have in my career and being a mom. I set the bar high. Whenever I don't reach it, then I feel like horrible. I feel like I failed. And so I had to really learn how to change those thoughts and how to change the story because that's not true. Just because I set the bar really high and I missed the mark doesn't mean I failed. It just means I got to get up and try again. Maybe lower the bar just a little bit for right now, get to that point and then go to the next level. It's the same in fitness, right, Eugene? We can't just go out of the gate saying I'm going to lift 500 pounds. You got to work your way up. So that's my
I
spiel.
mean, yeah, I mean, I operate on a different mindset. If I set a goal and the goal is high, I mean, e- even if I don't reach the goal, I'm not going to set the bar lower. Just to reach it. It's like I'm gonna continue striving
Yeah.
for it,
Well, I'm not
and
saying do that all
even
the
if I
time.
don't get it,
Right.
yeah,
Well, I'm not saying do that
never,
all the time,
never.
guys. I'm just saying in specific instances. For instance, you cannot say because I was like doing a training with Tony Robbins recently, and he was saying that one of the guys he was coaching, he said, "Oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make $1 million in 6 weeks." And this is coming right out the gate, knowing nothing about the specific skill or whatever. And Tony's like, "Well, you may not want to set the bar that high. You may not want to go that crazy with it because you have to be more realistic." Now, can you go out and make $1 million in 6 weeks? Sure, sure. It is possible, but I'm just saying, sometimes it's like you got to kind of be real with yourself. Are you going to be, like you said earlier, are you going to put in all the phone calls? Are you going to do the work? Is it going to actually happen? Are you going to actually attract the right resources, the right opportunities to actually make that happen? Who knows? I believe that it can happen, but I'm not saying that's not going to be everybody out there.
Well, can I interject and add to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I would say set your goal as high as you want to set it. Even if it's unrealistic and you don't think that you can make it, if that's what you want, set that goal. The only time that I would recommend not to set a goal so high is if for whatever reason you don't reach that goal because for whatever reason that and you beat yourself up about it because you didn't reach it. But if you set yourself a goal that is unrealistic and you're working towards it, and every step is a lesson learned, good or bad, and any step, good or bad, like if you take 2 steps forward, 5 steps back,
Hmm.
as long as they're all lessons to you and you don't quit,
Yeah.
just like we were talking about earlier with your trip, most people and I mean, I guess I can't talk for most people, but to me, uh, to wanting to move to another country during a time like this, I would have to like, in my mind, it's like, wow, what is that person thinking? You know, but that's what
I
you
look like the
want.
crazy one. Well, that's
No,
because
no,
Eugene, I
no,
turned
but
off the TV. I don't listen to all
yeah,
the
exactly.
craziness.
But right, and I'm just talking in generality. I'm not saying like that's what I'm
Hmm.
actually thinking, right? Because you know what you want and you're going to get it, and you're not going to let anything stop you from doing that.
Right.
Now, even though there's everything seemed to be against you taking that trip with the cancellations and this and that, you're so determined to reach that goal that
Yep.
you found a way. And
Absolutely.
that's what I'm talking about. You didn't lower the bar
Oh, I got you. You
for
found a way. I see. Yeah,
what you're wanting to do. You found a way.
I
It's
totally
like
agree.
the plan the plan might have changed, but the goal never changed.
Okay. I
So
got you.
set your goals as high as you want them, and just understand that whatever the plan that comes into play, it may not work, and you might have to find another way to get to that goal.
I think that
Like
what I was
for
thinking really
example,
well, I was going to say with the playing on top of that is that I don't think lowering the bar necessarily means changing the goal. I think it means changing the timeline because, like, I'm a health and fitness professional. I'm thinking personal trainer right now, but I'm thinking I would never tell my client, brand new client, to go lift 500 pounds if they're overweight and they're sick or whatever. I would be like, let's start here, and then we're continuously raising that bar. But in my mind, it's like timeline versus we're always reaching that. We're still, the goal is the same. It never changes. We want to lose weight, get stronger, and be able to lift that 500 pounds. But we're going to take small baby steps to get there. And so I guess in my mind, I was thinking more timeline versus the goal itself. Does that make sense?
yeah, when we talk about health and fitness, that's like a whole different thing. Like you said, if you can't lift 500 pounds, then you got a long way to go before you can lift that. And maybe you need to
Mm-hmm.
start at 30 pounds.
Right,
But
right.
obviously, it's all relative to whatever it is that you're trying to reach. But
True.
ultimately, again, like it's the same thing. If I want to lift 500 pounds and this is my first day in the gym, and I go to the gym and I try to lift 500 pounds and I can't, do I quit or do I
No.
just find exactly? So what I do is I find another plan. Like the first plan of going to the gym on my first day and lifting 500 pounds didn't work. So maybe I need to reassess the situation and come up with
Yes.
another plan.
Another plan,
But the
people. Another
goal,
plan.
the goal never, but the goal doesn't change. So
That's
maybe
right.
now I say,
Exactly.
okay,
Now we're
well,
on the same
I
page.
can't lift, yeah, I can't lift 500 pounds off the jump. But if I go to the gym and train for 3 months,
Right.
and gradually build up to that 500 pounds, one
Yeah.
day,
Okay.
I'm gonna reach that goal.
So
So
Eugene,
you can,
so people who want
it's
to,
interchangeable.
so people who want to reach out to you to find out more about real estate and all that good stuff, where can they find you? Should they out to you on Facebook?
Um, well, as far as real estate, again, that's not really the business that I'm promoting. It's more so in the coaching. I got my
Oh,
mastermind strategies.biz website.
okay. Awesome. All right. I'll put
I
that in
do,
the show notes.
yeah, and I do host a group every Sunday for a program called Thinking Into Results that I
Okay.
facilitate. Um, it's actually the coaching is given by Bob Proctor, the materials. Um,
Awesome.
but as a certified coach through PGI, I facilitate a lot of those meetings, and and I got a small group now, and the ladies in that group are doing amazing things.
Oh, is it a lady? Is it a women's only?
No, it's just so
Oh,
far
okay.
it's just women
So
that are
so
in the
far it's
group.
just the ladies. Man, you can't stop us
Yeah.
ladies, man. We are powerful and courageous, and we're like, man, give it. We're like fearless. We will jump into something. We'll make things happen. I think there was just something about us inside of us. We're like, we got to go get something. So, got to go make things happen, which is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to put all of this information, guys, in the show notes so you can reach out to him, maybe join the group and stay motivated, because that's what groups are all about, right? You show up, they hold you accountable, you learn a lot of good things, you're not in this alone. There's lots of benefits to reaching out and being part of an amazing group. So I hope you can reach out to Eugene. And this has been a lot of fun. I love this, going back and forth and learning more about what Eugene is up to. And he's on a path to amazing things, okay? He set the bar really high. He's not changing it, and he's going to keep going until he reaches it. So I'm so excited to see what you're going to be up to, Eugene, in the future. And we'll definitely have to have you back on to share with us all the amazing things that you're up to. But in the meantime, I hope you stay healthy and happy and strong, and you continue rocking and rolling. And we will see everybody on the next episode. Thank you so much, Eugene. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rebecca, for having me.
See you guys later. Bye.